Well, I
Pues
think
Ana no me acuerdo, la primera vez.
I'll call this meeting to order at 5:33. Emily, please call roll.
Laura Pineda,
Present.
Kevin
Present.
Garcia, present, David Garcia, present, Hector Bye.
present.
Jessica said she wasn't gonna be here, so we have one.
Okay, moving on. Order of business, deferrals, additions, and deletions. Seeing none.
The control, but can we look at it? No. We're good. I just wanted to look at it.
Moving on to public comments. Any public comments? No public comments. Moving on to approval of minutes. October 17th minutes in the packet. Chance to review them. You have a motion for approval?
Then we do both. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Moving on, staff updates. We will have, I think we have one check presentation left, right?
You have
Two.
Two?
including each one.
Okay, that's what we.
Ivy League's education.
Yeah, that's all I'm missing.
Well, we don't have any dates.
I'm waiting for the. Sure, it's gonna be-
Miami,
Ivy League's
Miami
education.
Education or HML, but they have received their
Yeah,
funds, okay. That's,
well, HML, I'm not 100%. We mailed it out weeks ago. I haven't gotten confirmation that they
okay,
received it.
can we send an email out to them to see? if-
I sent an email to Ms. Montanez and Torres, but I haven't gotten confirmation.
From neither one.
Probably sent it end of last week, so.
I'm sure we did something.
Moving on to student.
Actually, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I just wanted to make sure, I sent you guys all an email with a link for Munis, which is where we keep our budget. I shared that so that you guys are not waiting on me to have an update on your budget. I'm more than happy to print it for you guys if needed, but I just want you guys to know that you have access to it at any given time.
I do remember that. Can I, okay, so before we move on, can we go back and add an addition?
I'll open it to make an addition.
All right.
What addition would you like to make?
So under 9D,
Okay.
I would like to add. What committee is that?
Cultural affairs.
Cultural Affairs has invited us to attend the Mrs. Claus Holiday Book Reading event on December 3rd, so I would like to add that. So,
Cultural Affairs invitation.
right, 9D.
Okay, and now that you're in open deferrals, additions, and deletions, we'll move 7 to
To the end.
the end, just to give Maria some time to get here. All right. Moving on to old business.
Do we need a motion for that?
Yes, so I'll make a motion that we move 7 down to the end of the agenda. So that
And to
would
add
be
9D, you need to make.
11 and everything else moves up. Do you have a second?
And then you can go back there.
And 9D, Culture Affairs invitation. All in favor?
Aye.
Right.
Moving on. We have the, well, now that you have that I'll send that, you have the budget update, you got, everybody can see the budget on there. Again, we still have to go against, in front of council to request the money that we raised from the sponsors in order for that to be transferred over to this physical year.
It will be in February.
I think we should, I personally think we should approach it in January, just to be, sure we get everything right, and then approach it again in February.
I think we should go based on what the council advised us. But that's okay. I mean, I just don't want to be going back. And
I
forth.
don't want to, I hear you, I'd rather be, on top of it than be at the last minute. So we only meet once a month. So we present it in January, we have to change anything in writing, we have the ability to present it again in February. All right. Moving on to old business B, school showcase. Unfortunately, we did cancel that, and the next day was like a beautiful day. It is what it is.
Is it a postponement or cancel?
No, it's canceled because most of the schools now do their own thing, and they basically are posting in their own schools. From gathering some information, I mean, it is like putting all these schools together. It's like hostile territory. It's very complicating. They don't want to step on each other's grounds. They don't want to, at the end of the day, we were just trying to keep the kids in the town, try to do something for the schools, seeing how we could retain those kids, try to get more kids, to come to the schools with the minorities.
So the original concept was to bring everybody under one roof, right?
Sure.
Have all the schools present. I know we went back and forth with the district. I know Mario was very involved. I was very involved. It is territorial. Some schools felt that they were not going to have enough space to do what they really wanted to do.
Right.
Some schools felt that they really didn't want to present. So there was a whole bunch of obstacles along the way. They wanted to be more like a resource fair type of thing, which I was fine with.
Two pages.
Sorry. It's a shame that we did have
I
to
think
cancel because the
That is
superintendent had
I'll read it.
confirmed that this was gonna be, but it is what it
Thank
is.
you.
Again, I feel that in the future, I feel that the schools, I kind of feel like we're stepping on their toes with this one. If we visit it in the future, again, we want to do for the schools. So whatever the schools feel comfortable with, we'll go with. But that being said, that's on old business for school showcase. Anybody have anything else on that?
Through the chair, in my opinion, I would have liked to see a postponement, postponing the event instead of canceling. I feel a lot of work went into that, a lot of subcommittee meetings, many nights of working on it. From what I understood, I mean, I can only speak from HML because that's where I'm at on a daily basis. So we were working hard preparing a presentation. As a matter of fact, I have met with my activities director and my principal before you guys canceled it. They were asking me to put a group of people together who are going to represent HML at that event. We were preparing a PowerPoint when the whole tropical storm was happening. I had already met with several SGA students and we were developing a presentation on behalf of,
Hello.
we were preparing a PowerPoint to present at the event. We had already asked them to reserve their night that day to be there. So I just feel that I don't understand why it was canceled so last minute and we had all of these dignitaries attending. In my opinion, it would have been better to postpone the event with the council. Thank you.
Thank you.
Are you asking for a reply?
No, just my comment on it.
Moving on. New business. Well, you know what? We'll let Moritz do his student member.
No, ya lo pasamos.
New business. So we're going on to the Graham scholarships. Do we have any updates when those will be available so we can get those out early this year instead of later? like we did?
We haven't started working on the one for next year, but we can start working on it now.
Yes.
One would be, do you need anything?
Yeah.
In terms of
Thank you.
timeline, I know that it didn't go as you guys wanted this year. So what is it that you're looking at in terms of starting to promote like when to open it, when would be ideal
So
for
I
you?
think we discussed January, right?
Mm-hmm.
Will be the time to open it. So I think they're bringing it up early. It's just, I mean, all the kids are applying for college as we speak. Some are starting to receive their notifications, you know, their offers. So the sooner we do it, the better.
And by when would you guys want to close it?
March.
Giving yourselves time to obviously review it and then voting on it and putting it out there.
Gives us a month so we can read to April.
Well, I assume that the Graham's committed to doing it again, right?
We haven't reached out
That's
to
what
them,
I'm saying.
so
So
yeah, I'll reach out to them first, but
just reach out and maybe we can do, yeah, January to March. You know, once we get confirmation of the January meeting, we can set a date.
In April, we could.
Do we need a confirmation at a meeting?
No, but they need to confirm they're gonna give us the money for the
Right, but we
scholarship.
can reach out to them before then, right?
Right,
So
no,
that-
that's the whole
Oh,
point.
okay,
We
so in
need to-
January, we can already decide
Exactly.
to move forward.
I'm gonna send an
Okay.
email now that you guys are agreeing on this, and I'll just send you guys an updated. Obviously, I'm sure she'll answer before your January meeting.
Right.
Sure.
Moving on. The annual Award of Excellence. Keeping everything, you know, early. Are we going to do that again this year? I thought that was an annual thing.
Depends on the board.
I
It
think,
depends on the board, depends on the.
I thought it was a great
The budget, if we
event.
can get
you know.
the sponsorship money. And it all depends on this board.
And that would
I
be.
think It's a great
in-
event, but I think that we need to decide.
Okay.
We do have a title sponsor. He's committed, headquarters board is committed to continue to do this with us.
So let's have to work.
However, we do need money.
Okay.
Last year, we spent close to a bit more than $3,000. And that was because of the sponsors that we were able to. But there was other income that came in that there's other income that came in that I know for sure this year is not probably gonna be there. So we
When you say income, you mean as sponsors?
have money was put in there. A lot of
Budgeted
it,
money?
You mean our budget money?
a lot of money that I had to put in myself. I'm gonna be as
so
honest as possible.
Roughly speaking, what would you think the budget for that would be?
Roughly speaking,
Yeah.
$7,000.
To hold the event?
Yes, sir.
And how much does headquarters Toyota come in together?
They did last year was, how much was the total?
Things like that,
About,
right?
I'm not quite done, to be honest.
How much is title
I would have to
sponsorship?
go back, because how many events are doing,
And how much is budgeted on our budget for that?
nothing, zero.
Well, we have requested, but obviously everything was.
How much is
turned
our
out
event budget? 500?
$1,000.
So we
When-
need sponsors.
When would we have this, this event?
So that's the first thing.
As soon
So,
as you mention.
so look, you know,
How we can,
it has to be in May, right, towards the end of the school year. And what I personally would like is for it to be as late as we did this year. Because then we had the whole issue with the superintendent, right? It was very gracious of him to do the video, but he couldn't be there because it was graduation season, right?
I think we should aim for a week before Memorial Day.
No, I think we should aim for the 12th, May 12th. I'm just looking at a calendar. I mean, it will be a Friday, right? It would be best if it was a Friday.
is it a
But
Friday
There's no
for
way
a
to
long
do it
week?
before?
Huh?
Is there any way to do it before? And here's what I'm saying, most of the kids that receive, I think, the awards, with the exception of a few, are usually participating in other award ceremonies at that time. Honor Society grad things, club things. So I remember with Jess, it happened kind of late in the year, maybe it was just that year. But usually it kind of happens late, and I remember that there was one particular student who was struggling to make it to the two events because it coincided with an event that Bowman had that same night. So I don't know if there's a way to do it before. Just so that the kids aren't stressed, the parents are stressed trying to make it to 2 or 3 events.
Right.
But I don't know the
That's the thing
feasibility
is,
of that.
It's hard to look at a calendar and say there's gonna be, all we can do is try to put a date.
Right, no, I know,
Play with
but
it.
usually like the later is usually when, the later it gets, I guess.
Right, but that's like a
That's-
month So the 12th would be like a month.
Yeah.
That was beyond-
The 12th is
yeah.
like a month before like
We
graduation
almost had to
season.
mail them their stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
So the 12th, there will be no I don't think graduation season starts until probably the week
Correct, until the last week of May.
of May.
That's what I was saying before.
So that gives us 2 weeks ahead. You know, we cannot do it too early like March. Because we're
No, March
already-
is too early, because you're
Right,
doing that.
and even April, you know, I
You're
don't
gonna
know.
do like end of April, maybe beginning of May versus mid-May.
Yeah, except that the first Friday, May, it's Cinco de Mayo. Yeah. No, I'm looking at it, that would be
Maybe
great.
it could be.
So
it
May
could be
12th
We
is-
can make it
Mexican.
a Mexican.
Maybe you can have
Yeah.
the Marachis out there.
Is May 12th a long weekend or?
No. It's a Friday, but.
Oh, Mother's Day is that Sunday?
Oh,
There
yeah,
you
Mother's
go.
Day, that's Sunday, you're right. Thank you.
Oh, that's a
Maurice.
really nice bonus.
You see how you.
Or
bring
the last
value
week
to
of
this?
April,
nice.
April 28th.
Yeah, maybe April 28th.
And AP tests start on May 1st, so that would be good.
Mhm. May 19th.
May 19th,
Is that weekend's a long weekend?
No,
No,
my concern is that be running close to
There
when
you go.
graduate, I don't know when graduation season starts.
I would do April
yeah, there's a
28th.
lot of things, that's what I'm saying, it's.
Prom, graduation.
April 28th to me would be a good day, and that gives us a few months to try to get some sponsors. That's what I would do.
Like, nobody has really said dates on anything, so.
No.
Yeah, I do
Yeah.
have
Do
it.
they?
I have to. It's always on my computer.
So can we just like tentatively put a date,
Yeah.
you can always change it. I mean,
So tentatively, we put April
okay,
28th?
would you have an issue with April 20? I think it gives us time to.
Anybody have an issue with April?
Just put it for April and then we'll,
Okay.
when we get home, we'll go over all the dates on calendars.
That gives
So
us enough
because
time
we need to
to
go at some point.
figure
from
out
council.
some,
You're gonna make the
some
motion.
okay. I make a motion to host the annual Award of Excellence this year on April 28th, tentative. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Through the chair, can staff send all the board members a copy of the sponsorship packet? So that we can, call some people and.
You're very good at getting
So
sponsors, from what I see.
in terms of sponsorships, now that this is being brought up, in the past, there's been a disconnect between like the committee confirming sponsors and like letting us know after the fact. We need to make sure that we're in the loop of when those sponsors are confirmed, just so that we do our part of, acknowledging them correctly. I know that you guys have previously put together sponsor packets, but the communications department has worked on putting one cohesive packet together of all committees, so that anybody that's interested gets sent a whole package. So we would obviously want to include the EABs,
Okay,
school
who-
showcaser.
Who
So
do we email, who's the point of contact for sponsor? So email or by.
just keep me in the loop.
We'll copy you.
And one of the most important things, and I know you guys are familiar with this, but one of the things that we want to make sure is if for any reason your sponsorship package includes category exclusivity, we need to make sure that we're all on the same page. And two, as you guys know, there's certain like religious organizations and certain stuff that we have as part of our sponsorship ordinance that cannot be recognized as sponsors. So that's really more than anything, we just want to make sure that we're all on the same page with that. So I would appreciate you guys keeping me in the loop. Now for package, I've already kind of drafted it out with my other committees, what it's gonna look like. However, I know that you guys have drafted one in the past. So if you want to share with me what you want it to look like in terms of benefits, share that with me, and then I will put it together to go along with all the other ones.
Well, being that we have, because you have requested 3 months in advance, right? Whenever we're gonna do an
I
event,
mean,
to-
that would be ideal, yes.
and that's why we're jumping the gun, right? That's gives us
That's
6
not
months,
great.
5 months, whatever. So could we just, like Maria's requested, get a copy of it, and then we'll bring it back in January, it still gives us.
Do you want to see the ones that I already have? And you
Right.
guys can kind of pick out what you think looks good, what wouldn't work for you and all that?
So is the town still making, so you still have categories for each event with different prices?
Yeah, because
So
And we have different levels.
can the board agree on what prices they want?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And if you guys want to look at it just to get ideas and maybe, you cross out what wouldn't work for you and what would, we can start there.
So
I
the-
can share what I have right now and we go from there.
So the title sponsors are already confirmed, which is, so
So
our
we need to
packet,
agree on that, obviously, if she's already, yeah.
so that one we won't have to have in the
What is
packet.
the amount? Do you know?
Well, we're gonna work on that one.
Okay.
If I may, Goldman's Grad Bash is April 28th.
Oh, no way.
Schools are April 28th.
Mhm.
That's the thing, we gotta go back to the calendar.
Does it have to be a Friday?
A Thursday?
Can it be
By
a Thursday,
Thursday?
like May 4th?
May 4th is the honor graduate.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so
It
that's when
starts
everybody
to
starts.
get-
yeah,
yeah.
May 3rd?
That's what I was saying earlier,
No,
because of that.
Or the Thursday of the
And then they
27th.
have the sports banquets, all that good stuff.
No, but they're leaving.
They're getting
Grab
ready.
bash.
April 26th is a
I
Wednesday.
ain't ready
I
for
see.
anything on Thursday.
What time do
Grad Bash
you
is
leave?
on
They leave
Friday.
early, right?
I'm cool with I think a Wednesday is
I think it's fine.
a good day, like a Wednesday night,
I say we
or
should
it's a
look at the
dinner, I
12th,
mean,
at
it
the
doesn't.
12th of
So
May.
definitely at the 20.
If you're getting an award, you're gonna go whether it's a Wednesday or a Friday.
No, but we had some kids that couldn't make it.
Yeah, you
because
did
of
have
weather.
that last year. They could not make it because they were double booked
It
for
was
other.
just-
Probably
Right, but I mean, like, the day of the week is not necessarily, like, if you're getting an award, whether it's a Friday night or a Wednesday night,
No,
you're
but
gonna
we,
go.
Oh, no, no,
we went
yeah.
all out, it was a dinner, it was, you know.
Right, so April,
So we gotta think about the soccer. We
How
gotta-
early in April can we do it?
You don't wanna do it too.
No,
too
too
early.
early.
I think Thursday.
When is Easter?
Which Thursday?
No, yeah, I'm just saying like for the day.
Oh, okay.
April 20th,
What about,
well, that's a Jewish one. April 27th,
for the grad, they're getting ready for grad bash, right?
right, April 26th is a Wednesday,
That's,
April 20th,
that's for me.
the only problem with April 20th, that's a Thursday, is that I believe Friday is a Jewish holiday, so.
Yeah. What's wrong with May 12th like that? I mean,
I
yeah,
like May 12th. I think that was Mother's Day.
Oh,
Yeah,
Mother's
yeah.
Day.
but
But I
the
make
people, I mean, I don't know.
What about May 11th?
May 11th,
Right?
11th is good.
What are we thinking?
May 11th.
So we need to maybe make the motion, sure.
I
To change the date.
will make a motion to change the date on the annual awards of excellence to May 11th.
Now, wait,
Still tentative,
how far
Tentative.
do they book the royal?
It would be great to get it in
No.
now to make sure you guys get a date that you want.
But
Okay.
knowing the games and everything, how do they? when do they
Yeah,
know?
that-
Do you have it?
I wouldn't know if it's already booked. I can assume that there's
Like the
already
seasons?
things on the book. Yeah, because
Mm.
it's seasons. But I think your best bet would be to start confirming your date now. So you at least have options if you
Sure.
can get your ideal
So,
date.
so we're setting a tentative date, a tentative date. Could you
I
reach
can
out to the
hold it, though,
parks?
yeah.
Right, hold it and reach out to the parks, see if that's an issue or. And we're talking about that Roberto Alonso says.
What date?
May 11th.
May 11th.
You made the motion,
Made the
I
motion.
second it.
All in favor?
I,
May 11th.
So when it comes to sponsorship, if the board would like to agree on certain numbers for the silver and bronze tier, so that I can get us a packet, because
So the
I
town
have no problem
sponsor-
calling, but the earlier the better.
We can do it in January.
What I'm
Just
gonna do
an
now though
update.
is send you guys, I'm gonna send you a copy of what we have right now,
And then we'll
and you
pick
guys
one.
can work on it.
Moving on
are you
to,
sponsor?
Do you see how many sponsors he got for that
I know.
basketball game? He's a sponsor.
all right, the sponsor already. Moving on to the senior banners as well. We'd like to get those out early so some of the parents could start doing that. When is the earliest we could get that application out?
I have to look back at what was done this year or the previous years, but. I can, go back to you guys once I have a response on that.
And
I-
last but not least, 9D, the Cultural Affairs has invited us to reading with Ms. Claus, right? So, to hand out some books. I don't know, if we have books. Do we have books?
Yeah.
And that is on
I
December,
think they.
The third.
they do have-
December the 3rd.
I'll check.
For the EAB,
Yeah.
The
the
EAB
books.
books.
You don't have them? I must have.
I have books in mine.
Well, they
What
always-
time?
Usually get put
December the 3rd.
I thought I
Yeah,
brought
they
them
didn't
for the
find-
book bag distribution. no?
I know that, in the 12th.
Okay.
12? 12?
You said
12
Got
p.m.
it.
And
It's
it's on
Saturday?
Main Street Players.
Probably 2 or 3
Oh, okay.
boxes of books, pero yo creo que son more.
I'll
for
check.
older kids.
There's a
not little
few,
ones.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but
But
we
if
went a
anything, I
couple
have to
months
go
ago
get
to
it.
Mary Collins storage and we saw some books in it.
Right.
I'm gonna assume it's
Right.
you guys.
Mhm.
Kids
Yeah,
books?
those are for EAB, but
Okay.
I think they're more like older.
Older.
Oh,
So, but anyways, like I have a lot
Okay,
of
I'll
children's
double
books
check.
that are brand new. that I can-
should I tell them yes then or?
Yeah,
No?
I'll be there.
I think we
I'll
participated in the
participate.
past.
I don't have, it's a
What-
Saturday, that's fine.
What's the date?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's December 3rd at 12 p.m. at the Playhouse.
I mean, we've done it in the past, it was a nice event, and
You know, dress up as a reindeer?
That's a Sunday.
it's a reindeer. Yeah, it was elf, right? I'll be the reindeer.
Moving on to student members update. You're up,
Hello,
Bryce.
everyone. So my first report, a couple of things I want to note that two schools who show as not having answered got back to me like 3 hours ago, so I'll be doing those reports orally as well. I'll start with Barbara Goldman, which I'll do orally. Their SGA president, they got back to me today after some pushing, but I'll tell you guys what we have on that. So Barbara Goldman, their SGA works a lot of October on homecoming decorations because they don't have a decorator. So they don't outsource it. Their SGA does all decorations in-house. They've been doing community service events like the dodgeball tournament with Key Club, which is one of their main fundraisers when Key Club plays basketball. They've been getting funds from the Kiwanis organization and Pinnacle Change organization. Other clubs like La Society and NHS have been working on town-oriented events, focused on elderly and those in Catholic hospice. The homecoming parade, they had a homecoming parade, which involves all grade levels, and it was great to unite the student body in that event. And they've been doing drives collecting toys for Operation Christmas Child. Bob Graham, as well, I did hear back from today. They're doing 2 attendance initiatives for both staff and students, one called Are You at School? And the other one called Are You at Work? And so they select a name at random every week for the people who are there, and they get to pick the prize from the treasure box. They just had a family night, and they had charities come and do activities with the kids, and then those activities go back to the charity. They had a sock drive for the homeless. Bob Graham had a drive for canned food and for Hurricane Ian victims that was started by one of the students. So Bob Graham had a student-led initiative for canned food drive. Then they have a weekly award. It's called Pass the Boot Around Step In and Up Award. So that's between faculty. So it starts off with the Teacher of the Year, and then every single week the Teacher of the Year hands down that boot to another employee, and they get like a small award. So that's their activity for boosting staff morale. Miami-Dade Middle School in September, they had magnet visits to elementary schools, as well as a men's fundraiser. In October, there was magnet articulation visits to MMS, a Hispanic Heritage Show, and a breast cancer awareness show, as well as a haunted house. I was present at the haunted house. Hector was as well. Let me tell you, it was out of this world, like extremely well done. Probably one of the most successful fundraisers they've ever done. I heard thousands of dollars. The line was like
Huge.
You bring
you
up
know
the
why?
lights, yeah.
But you know why? It wasn't just the kids, it was the staff participants.
So for the haunted house, what they did was it was the entire first floor of the main building, and they turned off all the lights, and they had like the fire alarm lights on, and then every single department had to cover a hallway. So the language arts teachers had to decorate one hallway, 100% student run. Zero was outsourced by production companies. They bought a few smoke machines, some strobe lights. Incredible. The teachers were dressed up, and it was actually scary, in my opinion. Like it was
Yeah,
well
that's
done, well
The
done.
teachers like scaring those kids, huh?
Like a girl. That's all I can say.
Very well done. The line was like all over, and it's open to community members as well. It's not only students. So very, very successful fundraiser
How much did
there.
they raise?
I'm not sure, but it was like up there, I would say
Actually, quite well.
quite well, yeah. Then November, they did Fun Fridays and Thanksgiving drive, as well as a fall dance. And then in December, they're gonna be doing the honor roll. Miami-Dade Education Center, so I have been in contact with their activities director, Miss Cordova. And she did send me an email of a student government president who I did reach out. I have not heard back from her yet, but I think I should get an answer sometime this week or next week, so I can report on them in December. But Ms. Cordova has been very nice and helpful. Hi, Leah, Miami Lakes. So, many clubs receive grants from the Miami Lakes Town Foundation. The same thing goes for Barbara Goldman. They're doing incentives for student attendance, where every single week a student gets a prize if they're at school. We did a turkey bowl, a volleyball game between grade levels. They're going to be doing stuff for winter. HML has been very active with the District Student Government Association, attending meetings every single month with the school district. HML led the Pumpkin Patch Initiative, volunteering their time every single day after school to help at the Pumpkin Patch at Miami Lakes United Methodist. They're planning a color run as well as Trojans Got Talent. We had a meeting with board member Alonzo, who came to visit the school, and students had the opportunity to meet with him as well. We're doing Teacher of the Week, and they get featured on the announcements. HML hosted the Education Fund for their Idea Expo, where over 250 teachers from across the district attended workshops all day at HML. And we participated in the Miami Lakes Veterans Parade, as well as in the Miami-Dade Hometown Heroes Parade, which was organized by Miami-Dade County and their Office of the Mayor. It was hosted in downtown Miami. Miami Lakes K-8 Center, we have, they did a turkey slam and a pep rally on Friday, November the 18th, and which featured the Goldman Band and dancers. They had games, basketball game. They're doing a canned food drive through FEA, Student Council, and NJHS. And they did Career Day at Miami Lakes K-8 Center with 50 parents and community volunteers coming to speak to the entire school throughout the morning, including Miami Lakes Mayor Manny Sid. One more thing I want to add to my report is that the main concern that was brought up by several of the schools, from what I hear is both from Goldman as well as HML, is that they received grants from the Miami Lakes Town Foundation. However, Intergovernmental Affairs has not gotten back to Ms. Claricel de Cardenas in the Office of Communications here. And so the funds have not been able to been distributed yet. It's been over almost 2 months. And the deadline to use the funds as set by the town is April 28th. Therefore, the sooner they get the funds from this grant, the better, because the town requires that all funds be used by April 28th. So I spoke to, after hearing these concerns, I spoke to Ms. Claricel de Cardenas, who told me that she just hasn't heard back from Intergovernmental at all, and that she has to check in her desk, just waiting until Intergovernmental Affairs answers. So that's my report. If there's any questions from any of the board members, I'd be more than happy to answer or try.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Good job.
People.
Thank you. Thank you.
Any questions? All right.
We're breaking the record.
Yeah, we're bringing the record today. Do we have any announcements? Just a couple. We have the reindeer run on December 10th. It's going to be here's going to be a family fun day. Not just a 5K run. They have lowered the price, so it's more affordable now. Try to get your family out there, some friends, and a good time.
Through the chair, I want to comment on that. So I was approached a few days ago by one of the board members from Veterans Affairs and from, I believe she works at Judy. She works at headquarters.
Correct.
Headquarters. So she basically really wants students to start attending this run that they've made all students free. So what I'm gonna do in this next week,
That means students free.
yes, what?
We have to,
You sure about
I
that?
had a meeting with
Yeah.
Judy today. There's
Yeah.
a few details that we need to go over. We have to review that meeting again because they did vote on that, but we need to iron out the details on whether it's free for all students or for student volunteers and normally volunteers.
Yeah, because we didn't hear about that
Yeah.
today.
Well,
where you made free
Well, I'll get back on that then, but that's what I was told by Judy, but regardless of free or not, is she wants to make a big push to all the schools in the area of getting students to attend.
Right.
Just because they need runners. So in the next week, I'll be reaching out to all of these
We'll
contacts
try-
at every school to try to promote every single school, maybe
Right.
to set a goal or something for every school to send at least.
Yeah, I
Something
spoke
like
to
that.
Judy, she explained the same thing, and I reached out to NHS, they're gonna have members, not only volunteering, but also getting involved, because they have, I think, like about close to 100, 200 students.
Yeah.
So they want to do that, exactly. They want to be able to get the rest of the group, the clubs, the Key Club, everybody else involved.
Involved. Okay. And also, the new haircut, the haircuttery, on Main Street, Sharkies for kids, they're gonna do a low sensory day for kids with autism.
Oh, wow. that's
So
awesome.
if you know anybody that, I think that was a great thing that they're doing there.
Very cool.
So
You have a date, Mark?
I don't have a date just yet. I'll get back to you on that, but I know they're trying to do that for the autism community. The light show was great. I think it was a great turnout. It was great to see all those people, the festival lights. Other than that, any other,
December, now we having a meeting in December?
no.
What do you guys think?
I vote no. I'll be out of town.
Motion.
I'm going to agree with the chair. I mean,
Do we have anything to
have
discuss in
any
December?
right?
really? No,
We don't.
Yeah.
I think we're pretty much caught up. It would just be a lot of the checks
correct. And we need,
and to keep putting on their own business, what was it?
I do have a question, maybe I missed it since I walked in late. Are we rescheduling the showcase or not?
nowhere.
Okay.
Oh, through the chair, I have a question as well, because I missed that part. The check presentations,
Yes, you missed it.
so.
We already
We're
gave
missing
HML.
Miami Lakes Educational.
And HMO.
Yeah, but we have to get through Miami Lakes Educational first.
Okay, and has intergovernmental been receptive, responsive?
And
I
we're-
believe you already received the funds. Just-
No, the funds are there.
Yeah, yeah.
Rather, I'm
You
talking about
just-
the,
you just
I'm
wanna
talking about
take
the
a
show.
picture. You
Correct,
just wanna take a
yeah.
picture.
You just want to-
No, the funds were received, the funds were.
Speaking of funds, the foundation, that we introduced to HML, they did something with with one of the floors, the kids with special needs.
Oh, yes, you guys are talking about the thing that was spoken when Principal Santoyo was here about the
Yes,
IKEA grant or something.
Correct. How's that
Okay,
going?
so,
For the life skills.
yes,
Correct.
yes, that's actually in the works from what I understand.
That's awesome.
As far as I'm aware, construction has not started, but just like planetarium two in the works, some funding was received from the district, but construction on that should start hopefully in January or February for planetarium, but for the life skills apartment, from what I hear, it's being moved and there's some funding. So I think that's gonna be built on the second floor. So it's like apartments where students with special needs, HML has a very large special needs population. They can like simulate what it's like to live on their own and get those life skills, but I think that's in the works.
And I know there was another school that also was interested in the First Tee program. Do you know which one that was? No? Well, then seeing no more announcements, I motion to adjourn this meeting at 6:12.
Second.
All in favor?
All right.
Happy Thanksgiving, Merry
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.